Good evening. I want to thank President Macron for convening us this evening. At stake is not just the future of Ukraine, it is an existential question for Europe as a whole, and therefore vital for Britain's national interest. This is a once-in-a-generation moment for the collective security of our continent. Only a lasting peace in Ukraine that safeguards its sovereignty will deter Putin from further aggression in the future. Now, recent statements by the US administration should not come as a surprise. President Trump has long expressed the wish for Europe to step up and meet the demands of its own security, that he wants to get a lasting peace agreement to end the war in Ukraine. So today's informal meeting of European leaders was a vital first step in responding to that challenge. On defence, it's clear the US is not going to leave NATO. But we Europeans will have to do more. The issue of burden sharing is not new, but it is now pressing, and Europeans will have to step up both in terms of spending and the capabilities that we provide. On Ukraine, we're at the very early stage of the process. Europe must play its role, and I'm prepared to consider committing British forces on the ground alongside others if there is a lasting peace agreement. But there must be a US backstop, because a US security guarantee is the only way to effectively deter Russia from attacking Ukraine again. So I will go to Washington next week to meet President Trump and to discuss what we see as the key elements of a lasting peace. I spoke to President Zelensky on Friday and will do so again in coming days. And we envisage a further meeting with European colleagues when I return from the US. In this moment, we have to recognise the new era that we are in, not cling hopelessly to the comforts of the past. It's time for us to take responsibility for our security, for our continent. And I've been clear today, Britain will take a leading responsibility, as we always have, because Ukraine must have a secure future, Europe must have a secure future, Britain must have a secure future, and democratic values must prevail. Thank you. I'll now take a question, I think, first from Sky and then to Reuters. Sky.
Prime Minister, by unilaterally starting talks with Russia, has the United States undermined the UK, Europe and Ukraine?
What the United States wants is lasting peace. That's what Ukraine wants. That's what the United Kingdom wants. And that's what European allies want. What is important is that we ensure that Ukraine is in the strongest possible position if we're to go into talks or if the fighting is to continue. And to ensure that if there's discussion about any guarantees that are being provided, that the European nations show willing, as I have done, but also are absolutely clear that it must be with a US backstop, because I don't believe it'll be a guarantee if there isn't the US backstop behind those security guarantees. Thank you.
What sort of future do you see for any Ukraine peace deal if the United States will not guarantee to put troops on the ground?
Well, look, we're at a very early stage of the discussions at the moment. The war is going on, and the quickest way to end the war is, of course, for Russia to cease its aggression. So this is the very early stages. I do think that it's right that European nations, including the UK, show a willingness to do more in our own collective self-defence. This is a generational moment for that reason. This is not a new issue. It's an issue we've talked about many, many times, about the need for Europeans to step up. This is the moment to do so, including, if necessary, security guarantees, but they must be part of a package with US backing, because otherwise I don't think they will operate effectively as guarantees, because they won't be an effective deterrence, and that's why I'm so clear on this point. That's what we want to talk to our colleagues about in Europe. That's what I've been talking to President Zelensky about, and of course that'll inform my discussions with President Trump. But we're all aligned on what we want to achieve here, which is lasting peace, not a ceasefire that allows Putin to come back again, but lasting peace. And I think that's where there's real alignment, and what we're now doing is discussing how we take that forward.